Hey, how's it going? As you've probably guessed by now, I play video games. What's my favorite type of video game? Strategy games. What's my favorite strategy game? Well, I play a little game called Hearts of Iron 4. Now, based off what I just said, you now know exactly two things. One, I'm either this type of guy or this type of guy. Which one am I? Great question. Anyway, two, I think history is kind of neat. I mean, I don't mean to brag or anything, but I've watched about 2.5 oversimplified videos, and on my downtime, I browse history subreddits. So, yes, I think I know what I'm talking about. My entire family, like people setting up picnics to watch American Civil War battles, we find the darkest moments of humanity just plain entertaining. So today, I want to share with you that love of history, in the form of the story of undoubtedly one of the most interesting and greatest, and in my humble opinion, the most Chad military commander of all time. The man who did the impossible, utterly annihilating enemies of greater and sometimes double strength, using only his magnum dong of a brain, the great Hannibal Barca. For those of you who aren't really familiar with classical antiquity, let me break this down for you. The year is 241 BC, so for the layman, that's 241 years before the birth of Yeezus, and 260 years before the release of his album Knack Chronicles.
Knack is back.
Carthage is a massive empire, centralized around the city of Carthage on the north of Africa, and controlling a large amount of what is now Spain. Rome is Rome, but at the moment only controls the Italian peninsula. Oh wait, it's 241 BC? Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey guys.
Then Rome controls this, and Carthage controls this. This is because for the past 23 years, Rome had been fighting with Carthage in what is now called the First Punic War.
Foreshadowing is a literary technique in fiction and drama, wherein the author gives us some hints about what is going to happen later in the story.
Carthage lost and had to give up massive amounts of land and gold to Rome. To pay off the debts, the general and statesman Hamilcar Barca invaded ancient Spain in 237 BC, bringing his son Hannibal with him. As the legend goes, before they left Carthage, Hamilcar held the 9-year-old boy over a fire and made him swear to always hate Rome. Thus, for the rest of his life, Hannibal always had internal burning hatred for Rome.
But it's so bright and yellow. I can't look.
So, Hamilcar and Hannibal set off, had fun conquering Spain. Hamilcar died, Hannibal's brother-in-law Hasdrubal died, and Hannibal, aged 26, was given control of the Carthaginian armies in Spain. The Romans, scared of the expansion in Spain, made a treaty saying that everything above the Ebro River was theirs, and everything below was Carthage's. And everything was fine. Until this happened.
The Mediterranean.
Home. At least it was before I fucked everything up.
Rome decided to ally with Saguntum, a city below the border they set. Hannibal was understandably very upset and took the city. Rome sent a delegation to Carthage demanding Hannibal pay for his crimes.
Now the Empire is going to put you down.
What followed was this.
I have only one thing to say. Go fuck yourself.
The Second Punic War was on. Hannibal decided to invade Italy, and obviously the Romans knew this, but they didn't know from where. Any conventional invasion would be intercepted by the Romans, so Hannibal needed to think outside the box. This problem resulted in one of the most legendary military feats of history. Hannibal crossed the fucking Alps with fucking elephants. The cold, the tight passes, and the pissed off tribes made it almost impossible, but Hannibal made it across, losing about half of his entire army in the process. He caught the Romans completely off guard and refilled his numbers by recruiting from the regional barbarian tribes. A Roman army, commanded by one Sempronius Longus and Publius Scipio, approached him ready for battle. Sempronius was pissed, rash, and looking for a quick end to the war. Hannibal took advantage of this rashness, sending cavalry to harass their camp, and baited Sempronius into sending his entire army, full speed charging, to chase them. Oh no, there's a freezing cold river in the way, and it's the coldest day of winter? Go through it, lads. Get through the river and chase them down. Sempronius' army was met with a well-fed, prepared army with elephants. The Romans, most never having left Italy in their entire lives, naturally lost their shit when seeing elephants for the first time. Unfed, exhausted, terrified of the elephants, freezing to death, and flanked by a hidden detachment, Sempronius' army was completely annihilated. In spring the next year, Hannibal started marching south towards Rome, but was blocked by 2 Roman armies guarding both of the only roads to Rome. However, the Romans, learning absolutely nothing, did not guard the Arno River Valley to the west, because get this, they thought it would be impossible to cross. Anyway, once Hannibal was across, he tried to bait the Western army, led by Gaius Flaminius, into attacking him by burning the countryside, but it didn't work, so he started marching straight for Rome. Gaius, terrified and infuriated that Hannibal was going for Rome, started chasing.
You can't escape me! I'll chase you to the ends of the earth!
Checkmate. In the dead of night, Hannibal secretly positions his army at the top of a hill next to the lake Trasimene.
The next day,
when Gaius's army comes through, Hannibal's army comes barreling down the hill, pinning Gaius and his men against the lake. Some Romans were so terrified that they swam into the lake, only to die drowning in their heavy armor. Hannibal lost around 2,000 men, while Gaius lost a whopping 15,000, including himself, and another 15,000 enslaved. There was now nothing standing in between Hannibal and Rome, and the Roman citizens were losing their shit. But they didn't surrender. Instead, they elected a dictator. No, not that one. This one. Quintus Fabius Maximus Verrucosus. Now, the interesting thing about this guy is that depending on who you ask, he is either the biggest virgin around or Chad incarnate. He was a massive virgin because his strategy to defeat Hannibal was to not fight. Instead, he would follow Hannibal around, rejecting every bait, every attempt at battle, and slowly but surely wear him down. Everyone in the Senate hated this beyond belief and wanted to execute Fabius. And this is why I think Fabius was Chad incarnate. He stuck to his gut. No matter how humiliated, hated by Rome, his reputation completely ruined because he knew deep down that this strategy was going to be the one that would save his country. Fabius used this tactic for a while, shadowing Hannibal until he was trapped in a valley, Ager Falernus. Fabius blocked the only way out, essentially imprisoning Hannibal. However, Hannibal, in the dead of night, tied torches to a crowd of oxen, using them to imitate an army marching at night, and snuck his real army away in the confusion. This trick was humiliating for Fabius, and one step too far for the Roman Senate, who elected a co-dictator, Marcus Minucius Rufus, to beat Hannibal in battle. After that was done, the Republic elected Gaius Terentius Varro to rise the largest army Rome has ever seen, 86,000 men, in order to defeat Hannibal's meager 50,000 men in battle. It went a little bit like this.
Oh yeah? We'll see about that. Good one. Sorry, you little
Varro saw the outrageous numerical advantage he had and thought it would be a complete slaughter. So what did he do? In true AI fashion, he marched straight at Hannibal. And how Hannibal reacted to this would be called his masterpiece. If he was Da Vinci, this was his Mona Lisa. Hannibal deploys his men in an inverted crescent. As Varro's men charge, Hannibal orders his center to fall back further and further, and his cavalry comes closer and closer until
you got flanked.
It was a complete and utter massacre. Of the 86,000 Romans, only 14,000 survived. Now you may be asking yourself, how the hell did Rome win this war? Well, I'll answer this question with another question. Here goes. Have you ever played League of Legends? There you go. You can be as invincible as humanly possible, winning every single battle, but if your allies are trolling and corrupt, then it doesn't mean shit.
Dog shit.
Just as Hannibal was destroying Rome in Italy, Rome had its own Hannibal, Scipio Africanus, who was destroying Carthage in Spain. Carthage recalled Hannibal from Italy to defend them, and they met in battle, but the thing about Scipio is he was not rash, overconfident, and his diet didn't consist entirely of paint chips. Scipio did his best to study Hannibal, see where he was weakest, and exploited these weaknesses at the Battle of Zama, where his superior cavalry won the day. Carthage, seeing this defeat and not having the same stalwart nature of Rome, surrendered.
Thank fucking God.
Hannibal was exiled by his enemies in Carthage and found refuge with Antiochus III in modern-day Turkey, and then Bithynia, where he was tracked down the Romans and committed suicide before they could capture him in 181 BC. Rome would go to war with Carthage again in 149 BC and proceed to burn Carthage to the ground.